Okay, my question for this video is, how many Chinese characters do you need to know to be able to read Chinese? A lot of people put off learning Chinese because there's a large number of individual characters in the language which you have to get familiar with. The largest dictionaries in Chinese history have contained almost 50,000 different single characters. But don't worry, the good news is that most of these characters are really rare, historical characters that are almost never used. Some of them may only have appeared a few times in a few texts. So there's no need to be put off by this huge number of total characters in the language. The number of characters in common use is much, much smaller. According to research, if you are familiar with the 500 most common characters in Chinese, then you can read about 75% of the characters in modern texts. If you know 1,000 characters, then you can read about 89%. 2,000 characters gives you 97%, and 3,000 characters gives you almost complete coverage of modern Chinese texts, more than 99%. So when you're reading Chinese, you'll find that the pool of characters which are used most commonly is actually not that big, and you'll start to see the same characters being used again and again. So essentially about 3,000 characters is a good bar to aim for. It will take a long time to reach this level, but with continued study it's very achievable, and there may sometimes be other characters which you'll see from time to time, but you can look them up as you find them. And even Chinese people often have a passive knowledge of a lot more characters than they actually really know how to write. But 3,000 characters should be more than sufficient for most learners of Chinese.